Hey, it's Vanessa, and in this video, I'm going to share with you a story, actually, of what I recently came to the conclusion of with the help of a mentor of mine in regard to sabotaging the very thing that I said that I wanted. Now, this is something that we all do, whether we do it with our purpose work or the business that we really want to run or the place we really want to move to or the health that we really want to reach, achieve and experience. There's all of these different ways that we can stand in our own way. And this is a little bit different than not seeing the progress that we are making. That is a totally different subject in and of itself, which is really important to address as we build whatever it is that we want to build in the world. This was more of a humble pie moment for myself where I realized that all these things that I say I stand for and all these things that I want to create, I was behaving in a way that was creating the opposite. So let me dial it back a little bit and go to the context of what this is all really about. So a couple of years ago, I had an idea drop in, and it was very clear to me what this idea was called New Earth Collab. And it was really born out of all of these conversations that I was having with many different clients, people in my groups, just people in my world, where they were desiring a way to step out of lone wolf mode when it came to running their businesses and wanting more community, but wanting to do it in a more real kind of way. And wanting to, kind of figure out how to best grow and navigate their business journey. And I do that individually with people, but I was wanting that myself too. And as I looked out over the landscape of what was available and tried out different things, I kept going to these networking groups where it was like, it didn't quite gel. You know what I mean? Like the vibe doesn't quite click in, or it feels like it's a mishmash of people that you don't really have the same shared values or goals, and it just seemed a little off. Or I would join different business type of groups, like on Facebook, for example, and it just all felt like a thinly veiled attempt at either the group owner just wanting to sell things to you or everybody just selling whatever it is they're doing. And obviously, if you own your own business, you're in it to sell your things, right? In addition to make the impact, you want to make the income, at least for those of us that are in the transformational business scene. Both of those factors are important. And I just couldn't find anything. And so I was thinking about that and how I tend to draw quite a number of people to me that they know they're here to be the change. They know that their business is here to shift the paradigm. And they just really want to be out of doing it solo, doing it on their own. And I was sitting with that. I was like, yes, I want that too. And then I was thinking of this larger picture of the paradigm shift that we're in and how we're really moving from this information age to this relationship age, and how not everybody is going to want to be overloaded with content all the time. They're really going to want to build relationships. And then so all of these pieces started dropping in for me around what I naturally do, which is whether you're new to my world or not, I can tell you I'm a natural referrer. Like I love to refer people. When I find somebody that really has an impact on me, or I can tell that their work is very high quality, I'm the first person to refer them to like 20 people. It's just a natural quality for me to do this. And so I was putting all of these pieces together, and I was like, okay, we're solving the lone wolf idea. We're creating like real relationship and real collaboration and real community, and which is what helps to shift the paradigm, right? And then we're also you know, creating this like incredible referral network as we get to know each other, and we're sharing resources, referring, helping people literally grow their business. I was like, this is such a simple and an easy concept, and I love it. And I had the idea to call it New Earth Collab. Now, as I started to go to make the thing, to put it out into the world, I kept getting more and more details, kind of dropping in intuitively around the vision of what that would look like. And it's pretty extensive. You know, it involves media and publishing and crowdfunding, and really some new paradigm perspectives of completely changing how we build our businesses, how we do business out in the world, how we connect with each other and create community professionally and personally. I mean, the vision just kept growing and growing and growing as I continued to nurture it, right, in my own head, not out in the world. And so by the time I had really blown it up in my head, I was like, well, I'm not ready to create that. I don't have all the pieces in place. I have to do A through, you know, L before I can get to M. Like I put all of these conditions. We need a certain amount of people to join the group. We need a certain infrastructure set up. We need to have this system and that system in place. And while I can see all of that, and I know that those are all important pieces in the continuous build of something like this, I also used those reasons to not start it and to be sitting on it. And and this is how reality works, right? We get these clues coming into our world all the time that are saying, focus here, look over here, start this over here, right? We get these reminders by what the world is showing us. And so I would have people asking me about it, or I'd have people talking to me about their desire for something like this. And I'd always go, I have it, not yet. And so I eventually made a website, and I put all the sort of bells and whistles and blew up the vision of the big vision that I saw around it. But I was like, I'm not going to open the doors. I'm not going to do it until this. And all the while, I'm continuing to talk with people, work with clients, work in my own business building realm, and not like want these things that New Earth Collab could offer, and know that I could create that structure and that offering, but not doing it because it wasn't meeting this like high perfectionistic standard of how I think it should look before I put it out into the world. And I've been sitting on it for for 2 years, waiting till I can get the marketing just right, and I can, you know, do all the things to put it into place. And I had this conversation with a mentor of mine the other day, and I was talking about some of the challenges that I'm facing as a business owner, as someone who's passionate about the paradigm shift, as someone who's dedicated to her own healing and personal growth. And I was realizing in that conversation that there's all these ways that all of the challenges that I'm dealing with could simply be remedied if I started New Earth Collab. And so she was suggesting for me to kind of look at all of these conditions that I had placed on the creation of this, and the birthing of putting it out to the world, of like, not until the website's perfect, not until the community platform's perfect, not until I have a certain amount of people in it. And I thought, that actually goes against the whole premise of the group to begin with, because the group, this community, is about collaboration, and it's about doing the build together. So if you've watched any of my videos or paid attention to anything I've been doing in the last year-ish, and even if you haven't, I'll tell you right now, my whole shtick is about the build. and the paradigm shift. And this is what we're here for. This is what I'm here for, to play an active, participatory, conscious role in shifting the paradigm. And there's a build to it. It's quite literally what I support clients with. And what I shape all of my offerings around is the inner and the outer build that we need to have in place in order to, shift the paradigm, do our purpose work, manifest the vision, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, it's all about me. It's all about this process that I'm doing. And yet I wasn't doing it with the very thing that would help me and help everybody else do what I'm all about. And so it was this humbling moment of how I really didn't realize how I was standing in my own way and holding the standard out of reach for myself. And I have decided to not only share that with you for the purpose of, you looking at your own life and how you're talking about what it is that you want to change or create, or how you want to bring your vision to life, and to help move you, support you in moving out of the energy of maybe one day, maybe when I have this together, maybe, whatever the condition is, and to instead start now. And I don't mean just start in like, I'm going to do one little thing. I mean, like, start the project now and declare that this is what you're doing, and tell people this is what you're doing, and invite them to help you do the thing. Like, we create our visions through working together. And I fully believe that the paradigm shift is about us recognizing this and intentionally reaching for each other in that build. We're not supposed to do the build in isolation. We're not shifting the paradigm all by ourselves. We're doing it with other people who have a shared vision and a shared mission and shared values. And that's how we create. And so it's a very, I want to say, equalizing kind of role to embody. And it's different because the old paradigm approach is really about, this more hierarchical, top down, the person up there creates it and then directs the team to, you do this and you do this and you do this. Whereas when you're holding a more equalized type of role where you're building together, everybody's input is valued, and you have more of a dialogue and a conversation, and you can, get to know each other like real people building something real in the world, versus like this intangible vision that continues to get put off and put off and put off. And because that's not how the new paradigm gets built, it's how the new paradigm gets delayed. And I, for one, didn't want to participate in that anymore. I know I recently spoke about reverse alchemy and this idea of undoing the work that we've been focusing on, and sitting or undoing the gold that we have. And I am, just took some bites of humble pie and thought, it doesn't need to be perfect, and I don't need to be ready. I just need to get started. And so with that comes an invitation for you, if you have a transformational focused business and you know that you're here to shift the paradigm, you know that you're here to be part of the change. New Earth Collab is now going to open its doors. And I'm sweaty and like thinking about that, and excited thinking about that. And yeah, and just embodying a different kind of energy as I think about, doing things in a different kind of way. And I think that's really what the new paradigm is asking of us, is like, how can we do this in a different kind of way? And what I'm passionate about is building together. I'm passionate about getting to know people and supporting them and referring each other and sharing resources and growing organically. And, a lot of the kind of collaborations that I see out in the world, there's like a surface level to it. It's like, here's another summit of more information. And not that those aren't lovely, but I want, and I would say that those in my world want like a deeper connection, a deeper kind of relationship, like a sense of real community, not just pat, pat, pat on the back. Good job, good talk, good whatever. Please share this with your community, or, promote this 500 times on your world. But like, what would it look like if we were actually truly connected with each other? And it reminds me of a book that I read before the internet got all spicy and big and social media blew up. It was called Join Me. And I don't know when it came. I want to say it came out like 2005 or something like that. And it was this guy who just took out an ad in the newspaper. And it was, I don't even remember like the whole idea of what he put in there, but it was basically like, join me. He was going to go do something. And then he always wrote, join me. And he was just finding all of these ways to basically bring people together and have these experiences with him. And it just created this really incredible sense of community. I was like, I love that this guy just did that. Like, I think it was just based on his actual experience of doing these things. And I know that probably happens a little bit more, we see that a little bit more with social media these days, but I love the premise of us just all actually truly getting to know each other, truly working together, truly helping each other grow our businesses, referring and sharing resources, and crowdfunding or crowdsourcing our larger visions together. And I'm like, that's how the new paradigm gets built. It's one of many ways. And so again, New Earth Collab is for transformational businesses that know they're here to shift the paradigm and build the new. And it is opening on May 15th, 2023. And you can go to the description box or simply go to newearthcollab.com to read a little more of the details about it. And then apply to join. And we're just going to kick it off and we're just going to get started and see where it goes. But I have a very, very big vision for it. And I'm taking a deep breath with just putting it out there in outside of my perfectionistic standards. If any of you watching this has perfectionistic standards, now is a good time to release them and let them go and just allow yourself to do the thing, talk about what you're doing. And I think that's all I wanted to share. It was just quite a humbling experience for me because I really didn't realize that this would be the remedy to all of the challenges that I was currently facing and be the remedy for all of the conversations that I've had with people over the past couple of years, and that I was holding it off because it didn't fit under these high standards I was holding for it, that I felt needed to happen before I put it out into the world. So it may not seem like a huge deal, but when it's your own stuff, it always feels like a bigger deal than it might seem to other people. So I wanted to share that backdrop and that story with you to encourage you to follow what you're feeling called to do around your own paradigm shifting work in the world, around you changing your own life, and being an active, conscious participant in collaboration with life and in collaboration with other people, because that's how things change. And I know that that's what I want to be a part of. And I hope you do too. So again, go to newearthcollab.com and hope to see you soon. I'll be back again with another video on whatever I feel like talking about related to the paradigm shift. Take care. Thanks for watching.